Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SC Reddit number 7 semifinals between Vequeth, who's going to be in the top position, and ZukarakoxG, who's going to be on the right-hand side position here. This is Game 3 in a best-of-5 with Vequeth up 2-0. Mirror match, Protoss on Protoss, and we're going to have to see ZukarakoxG, pull something out of his playbook at this point if he's going to catch up, because he's tried a variety of builds, and it seems like even just from like a meta-game perspective, Vequeth has been one step ahead of him each time with just building the right army to counter the right thing. So I'm not sure what I'm going to see either of these players do this time, but I'd be curious to see it. So once again, I am Harlequin, and with me today is Atomica. Atomica, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. It is a beautiful day to do nothing and sit inside and watch StarCraft games. Like you said, we have Vequeth and ZukarakoxG. Vequeth pulling a 2-0 so far, so he only needs one more win to advance on to the finals in the SC Reddit 7.
And I love what Vequeth is doing here. This is that denial of information stuff I was telling you about before, in terms of, he could build this gateway and this pylon anywhere. So where does he build it? He builds it by his expansion. Completely out of the way, just because what's going to happen is ZukarakoxG is going to come in here, see nothing, and keep scouting and keep scouting and see nothing again, and then start having to panic about proxy gateways and stuff. So I really want to see how he reacts to this situation.
Absolutely. This is going to be extremely interesting.
So he's still hunting around here, and now the real question is he going to pull anybody off of his main and start running around?
I think this is already working in Vequeth's favor. If you look at ZukarakoxG's base, he's genuinely freaking out that he cannot find anything. So he's already
looks like
gone
he's
for his
got it
two-gate.
here with this waypoint. I can just see by the
yeah.
He's finally going to see it. Just kind of nice and lucky there that he picked that one out, but there it goes. But still, it's one of those clever little, just slight denial of information things. It really doesn't change the game one way or the other for Vequeth where he puts these gateways, but, might as well freak out your opponent a little bit. I always like seeing that.
And this did commit him to this kind of two-gate opening. He threw down these gates as soon as he didn't see anything, and he just has to stick with it and commit to this two-gate.
Yeah, that was clever on his part because, he made that decision probably when he couldn't find the gate, and so already Vequeth has shifted ZukarakoxG into a two-gate zealot opening, whether he wanted to or not, and it could just be that Vequeth is just planning on going stalkers anyways, which he is, and so just by doing that little bit of a feint with where he placed his actual gateways, he could have actually shifted this game pretty significantly. So Cybercore finally going down for ZukarakoxG, whereas Vequeth is already making his stalkers.
Right, this is definitely a weaker opening for ZukarakoxG. The two-gate is particularly not effective on this map, especially as there's that extremely long rush distance you have to run around the whole U shape of Scrap Station.
Yeah, and even against small numbers of zealots, a single stalker can do really well. So I like seeing the stalker move out and take the middle here, because he's just going to be able to harass this poor zealot all the way around town.
Pew pew.
I like the zealot stopping on the smoke, though.
Yeah, I like that too.
That was one thing that they changed in an early patch. It may have even been in beta. These smoke areas used to be nice and right-angled, and they changed them at one patch, and they made them all jagged and kind of diamond-shaped like that, just so you couldn't take advantage of being able to hide a whole row of units behind them. Kind of a strange little patch. I don't even think it got mentioned. It was around the time when they added the rocks to the natural expansions. All right, so it looks like warp gate is almost done. Normal amount of gateways. He's building in his main pretty well. Yeah, looks pretty standard now.
Yeah, and because of forcing to do that two-gate, ZukarakoxG is one step behind. He hasn't finished his... Ooh, he's actually going for a Stargate right now.
That's very ambitious. I'm actually genuinely confused about that, because maybe his intel just... he's already seen a Stalker. He's seen a Cybernetics Core and a single gateway. He'd be very well advised to assume that means that he is getting Stalkers, so I wonder why he would ever consider going for anything out of a Stargate, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, if history serves any purpose, Vequeth is going to go Stalkers. He's done so in the past two games, so ZukarakoxG would be pretty well off to just build a pretty immortal-heavy army, but instead he's going for air, which he knows can be destroyed by any amount of Stalkers.
Yeah, I don't think any amount of Warp Prism or Phoenix would do anything in this scenario, so just don't know why he's getting. He's getting a warp prism right now, but he's just about to get overrun by just a standard, really fast. Oh, look at those shields going down, but still not that useful. Standard, really fast stalker push, and there's even the supporting pylon up behind him, being walked up by the probe as he comes along here.
Right, Vequeth knows he's in a good position to be aggressive.
And these zealots are just getting picked off. He just cannot do this back and forth kind of a fight here. He really needs his own zealots. He really needs his own stalkers. A little bit of a trap there. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Actually, that was pretty good, but he just doesn't have the numbers. Oh, he's going to back off a little bit, but I think as the resupplies start flooding in, we got 3 at a time coming from behind there. But that's amazing, because you could see how that little feint worked early on in terms of, hiding his production, forcing him to get 2 gate zealots, and now he's just totally, he's got the wrong army composition because of just that one little move.
Yeah, but at the same time, ZukarakoX is actually sneaking a Void Ray into Vequeth's base right in the
I totally wasn't even watching that. He's at the very least, going to be able to distract off of that. That's a great observation.
Yeah, that Void Ray is just not going to last long at all against those stalkers.
Yeah, at the very least, he forced him to, spawn 3 in a different location, but still hasn't really changed this initial battle here. And this, I gotta say, is probably just the wrong unit composition. He took a gamble. I think he said, well, crap, this isn't going to work, and decided to try and hold things off with some Void Rays, but Vequeth just wouldn't let up on the pressure.
Right, Vequeth now having a pylon right outside ZukarakoX's base, so he can actually warp in units on the high ground.
And the fully charged Void Ray is out here now. Would normally be trouble for anybody else, but with that many stalkers, it should be fine. And there it goes. Stargate's going to go down, and that's going to be a good game, I believe, especially with the warping and reinforcements. Yeah, look at that. So it looks like Game 3 is going to go to Vequeth, and there's the GG from ZukarakoX.